Hey guys, DW Euroworks here. Today we're going to be doing a build breakdown on my single turbo swapped e61 wagon. Hey guys, so this has been a heavily requested video of mine, and I've been delaying it for a pretty long time just because I've been trying to work all the kinks out of this car. It's been a struggle, but we've made it. So for starters, this is a 2008 E61 535xi station wagon. It is a sport package with the Shadowline trim, but I've also added some M Sport parts, even though a lot of people would probably disagree with that. Not sure. So I think the best place to start off would probably be the rims or the wheels. These are Apex EC7s. They're 19 by 9.5. They work great with the all-wheel drive system. Front rims slash wheels are 19 by 8.5, running 245 40 19s, and the rear is 275 35 19. I feel like they pair pretty well together. The car rides pretty smoothly with the Firehawk Indy 500s, and so far no complaints with that. This car has around 196,000 miles on it, and as you can see, the interior is in quite good condition. No rips in the seats. Headliner is in very good condition. Obviously, it's been redone. Now, a lot may be wondering 196,000 miles. Isn't that a lot of miles for an 54? Well, I could probably argue that. I've been daily driving this car for about 60,000 miles, going from upgraded twins at full E85 around 27 psi, and now running the big single turbo setup. And so far, no complaints. I have not had any issues with it. Um, the motor is untouched internally wise. Um, Timing chain original, rod bearings are original, just about everything. Now, the biggest question I get asked is, how does the manifold fit? Well, this manifold is a custom manifold, so therefore it clears the axles and such sorts. Um, it does have a custom downpipe, as you can see. The real issues really aren't clearing the axle or anything like that. It's mostly just being able to clear your ABS module. And some may have issues with clearing that AC line, but I didn't really have that many issues. So far, everything was just drop in and let it rip. Now that we got the elephant out of the room, some might wonder, what CC injectors are you running? What oil catch can kit are you running? How did you relocate the coolant reservoir? I'll start with the coolant reservoir. This is super easy to do. You can pretty much take a 5/8, if I'm not mistaken, silicone line and you run it over to your stock location pipe that normally goes to your coolant expansion tank that would sit right here. And you run it all the way over here to your reservoir. You can't forget to extend your sensor that goes there, or you'll throw a code. It might say that you have low coolant when you really don't. Going on to the catch cans. This is a custom built catch can kit. I use the VTT 8AN adapter off the back of the valve cover going into this low side can. And you can't forget, you must put a one-way check valve on there or you'll boost your crankcase. For a while, I didn't have plug head ports and the setup worked perfectly fine, but I ended up just going Harbor Freight and getting a little Allen bolt set and plugged them and used some red Loctite. Works great. don't waste your money on the kit. So some might be wondering, how many cc injectors do you run for your port injection? Um, this is currently running 950cc PI, and the car is on full E85. So most people don't run JB4 in port injection. Personally, I run it because I don't like pulling over, reflashing my car, and adjusting things in Tuner Pro. Most people would pay for a tuner and have that kind of stuff, but I prefer to be under control, and that's the best case scenario for me, at least. Others may disagree and be like, just flash your ECU, get rid of the JB4, yada yada yada. But getting out of the way, the car makes around 680 to 700 wheel on the full E85, paired, of course, with the VSR 6766 with the .81 AR housing. This car also does have a full 3-inch exhaust coming off the turbo, paired with a 3-inch to 4.5-inch Skunk 2 muffler. A few more things on this setup that I'd like to mention. It's running a 7.5-inch intercooler. It would be the same intercooler that VRSF sells. It's the quote-unquote 1,000 horsepower rated. I paid around $200 for this intercooler. Best $200 I've ever spent. And of course, can't forget running a Muscleman Turbo Systems oil thermostat. This thing works pretty good for the Florida weather. Keeps my oil temp around 190 to 220 degrees. And the car does seem pretty happy about it. If I were to do it again, I would recommend running a stock thermostat. It does make the car warm up quicker if you run the stock thermostat. When it gets colder here, even though it's Florida, this will take a while to warm up before you drive it. And honestly, I just go through the neighborhood in second gear and just cruise so I can get a little bit of load on the motor so it heats up a little quicker. Another thing I'd like to mention is this does have a upgraded high pressure fuel pump. It's not necessarily an upgrade, it just has Vite and seals in it, so they're rated for E85. It does help, but honestly, a stock high pressure fuel pump with the original seals will work with full E85. You're not going to notice much of a difference, but it's just kind of a preventative maintenance thing that I would kind of recommend. Now, if we get into the car, you can see I swapped it out for a manual M Sport wheel. This car factory was a sport package, so this wheel bolted up directly with no issues. And I do like this wheel a little bit better. It is, in terms of feel, it just way different. This car does have the Logic 7 sound system in it, and this is a 6 HP automatic transmission. Now, most people would say, how is this car handling the power with the 6 HP transmission? Well, fun fact is, well, I take that back, not fun fact. In my case, I've had this transmission. It's the original transmission. The only thing I've done is a fluid swap and filter swap, and we did XHP stage 3 paired with 20 plus torque reduction, and I put 70% torque punch, so it kind of gets rid of that spongy feeling when you add a lot of torque reduction. And so far, this transmission's been holding for a very long time. It is a stock 6 HP 21X, and as of currently, I do have X Delete on. The car is way more fun in rear-wheel drive over the all-wheel drive. But when it comes to going to the beach, like New Smyrna, you can go on the beach and drive. I'll just turn on the X Drive again, and it performs perfectly fine. Now, one thing I do like that I added was the Apple CarPlay. The Apple CarPlay definitely makes life a little bit easier. You can adjust your audio settings and all sorts of things, and it's definitely an upgrade from the stock CCC system. Now there's another thing that I'd like to show you guys. Here's my custom sub box that we built. This is two MTX 15s. Uh, these subs are about 30 years old. They have not been rebuilt, and they just keep on kicking. It shakes the whole car, and it'll shake other people's mirrors and piss people off in traffic. But that's what it's all about. This car also does feature a panoramic sunroof, and yes, it does work. This car does run on a full flex fuel system, so I do not have to reflash the tune or anything in order to adjust timing and AFRs and all sorts of things. The car just does it all on its own. The only thing I've ever had to touch is the port injection scaling and my duty bias settings just to get boost under target. And with this turbo, it does have a little bit of boost creep just because the wastegate is a 44 millimeter. It would have been a little better if it was a 50 millimeter wastegate, but it does get the job done. Now, I'm sure a bunch of people are going to be wondering, did a shop do all the work? No. No shops have touched this car. I'm just an 18-year-old kid that has kind of just like slowly built a dream car. I don't think I'd ever sell this car personally. It's very practical. It's a station wagon. If I really wanted to, I could hook up a trailer to this thing and put a hitch. They do support a decent towing capacity. I could always tow my boat behind it. And of course, with the single turbo setup, it just doesn't care. Should be much more coming to this wagon very soon. Once I move into a new house, I'll be doing a fully built motor and possibly doing some Deca upgraded clutches for the transmission. But the 6 HP has been holding up very well. If not, if I cannot source clutches, I may just do an 8 HP 70 swap. Anyways, leave a comment what you think about this build. At least my daily driver build. Soon to be hopefully a record breaker for the e61 N54 chassis. But we shall see what she brings.